Daphne? Okay, good morning. Um, Quite a few came out, that's good. Half the people are in Washington, so that's good too, right? We bless them wherever they go and whatever they do, so that they come back safely and all that stuff. So um, I just want to give a little bit of a message on giving. I know we talk a lot about tithing in church, but there's lots more. There's three types of giving, basically. Your tithe and your offering and your alms giving, which is basically giving to the ones in need. So I just want to talk about that. I call this give generously. So we've done this lots in our life, me and Lisa, where we always have been tithing in church ever since 2004. And we've also at times struggled. We've also had times of good, and we would give to others that had in need, right? So I just want to go over a couple of things. It's not too many verses, but I got some stuff I wanted to go over. Give generously. Like the Bible talks about that. Alms giving, give to the poor and needy. We need to practice being generous, especially as leaders. God loves a cheerful giver. 2 Corinthians 9, verse 6 to 8. Let's read that, Daphne. Remember this, a farmer who plants only a few seeds will get a small crop, but the one who plants generously will get a generous crop. That's a principle that can't fail. You must each decide in your heart how much to give. And don't give reluctantly or in response to pressure. For God loves a person who gives cheerfully. And God will generously provide all you need. See, here it talks about the reward. He will generously supply all our needs. Then you will always have everything you need and plenty left over to share with others. Back to the other verse, Daphne, verse 7. It says here, you must each decide. We have to decide if we want to be generous or if we want to give something. You can't do it out of pressure or reluctantly. That's very clear in the Bible, but the Bible talks about making a decision. How much are we going to give? What are we going to give? And who do we give it to? So that's very clear in there. And you know what? Being generous takes a decision. It really does. So I just wanted to go over that. Let's decide what and how much to give as an offering in your local church or to someone in need, especially those in the family of faith. Galatians 6:10 says that. Just want to make sure you guys know it's in the Bible, right? So, you got that, Daphne? Therefore, whenever we have the opportunity, we should do good to everyone, especially to those in the family of faith. So there it's in the Bible. Talks about all this giving stuff. It's not just tithing and offering, it's also to the ones in need, right? Let's decide to pay someone else's food. Let's decide to pay someone else's coffee. Let's pay someone else's groceries at the checkout at Walmart or IGA or wherever you go shopping. Let's pay someone's gas. Just try it. It feels good. It really does. We've done this many, many, many times. Let me just finish reading here. You will feel so blessed. Even if you don't have much, still exercise your faith muscle. Plant seeds. There we go. Battery died. Back to my notes here. Exercise your faith muscle. Plant seeds. Try it. Try it in the drive-thru. Try it at the grocery store. I've done this many times. Drive-thru. Nobody buys a lot of stuff in the drive-thru. Hardly anybody. You drive through the drive-thru. There's people behind you, or it might even be somebody you might know and you haven't seen them in, like, I don't know, a few months, and you just pay his coffee. The guy's not going to expect it, I guarantee you. But when he gets to the window, obviously he finds out, and then you're already half gone, so he can barely notice he did it probably, but that's okay. We've done that many times. It's so much fun. The other day, Frank Dirksen and Corny were in Boston Pizza, and I didn't even think of this. We went in there and said, oh, there's those guys sitting down. And then halfway through, I'm like, I'm going to pay their lunch. So it's fun. Just try it. You'll enjoy it. You think, oh, man, that's a lot of cost. Yeah, it costs money. But God says in the Bible, he's going to supply all your needs if you do that. So, back in 2010, me and Lisa had a very low income year. And so, but the interesting part is I kept my faith in God. We always kept on tithing, no matter what. And then 2021, we had a breakthrough in finances. And so we started giving to others that had need in church. It was amazing. You go to the grocery store and you buy a $100 gift card and you give it to somebody in church that needs it. Like, stuff like that we can do, but it is a decision we got to make. It really is. Let's stop thinking we are poor when actually we could give to those in need and plant seeds. All of us are truly blessed already. We heard that a couple weeks ago, Abraham's story. We are already blessed, and then we give. Let's lend back to God by giving to those in need. Proverbs 19:17. Let's read that, Daphne. If you help the poor, you are lending to the Lord, and he will repay you. That's God speaking right there. Come on. He doesn't lie. It's a promise. So let's not ignore the needy around us, in church or the ones not even in church, on the streets. I was in Calgary yesterday. I couldn't believe it. There's people living on the streets. At 7 a.m., we're driving by, and it's like, wow, there's people on the streets. We're going, it was 70 kilometers an hour, and it's like, all of a sudden you see, there's people beside the road. Wow, what are they doing there? Oh, it's homeless people. And I think, wow, what a sad life. But I don't know. I just don't know what it feels like to be homeless. I don't know. I can't speak on that. Friends, if God can't work through you, he can't give it to you. Don't just eat your seed. Plant some. If we do these things, he does promise to give it back to us, reward us generously. God is most faithful to us in return. So God is going to be most faithful in return. He's asking us to trust in him. I know today was different, but let's not neglect to give when we see a need. Let's look for opportunities to give. That's another thing. Like, we got to look for these opportunities. If we don't think about it consciously, we won't notice that there's a need somewhere. We will not notice it. You have to consciously think about it. Whether you are a truck driver or if you're a guy driving through the Tim Hortons drive-thru or whatever it is, or even inside a restaurant, you don't know. Or people outside the restaurant. We've done that too. Go to A&W and buy a burger and give it to the guy on the streets. That works. Like, people just don't expect that. That's quite something for them when you give them a burger or something. That's amazing. So I just want to encourage everybody in that area because, it's something that's important too in the Bible. So I just want to talk about that. And, for those that give online or even in here, I just want to reiterate that we cannot give out tax receipts yet for donations. I just want people to know that because I don't want people to give and then later expect a tax receipt. So just want to make that clear. We're working on getting that. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I just want to. But if you feel like giving generously even without that, go ahead. Feel free to do so. And today we're just going to have a message online from Miles Monroe, understanding the kingdom, which is very important. If we don't function in church or out of church as kingdom, we're not going to hit the target. We got to focus kingdom living. So I'll post that link after this video in the chat so people can watch it too. So I just wanted to mention that, not forget that. So anybody wants to give, go ahead. Here's a box here if you want to give it here or online. Can you put that? Oh, it's right up there. Thanks, Daphne. Admin@cfcministry.ca. It's e-transfer. It's the only option we have for online stuff. So there you have it. Thanks a bunch, and have a great rest of your weekend.